Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. How are we all doing? I want to kind of prepare you for what you're about to see, because this is not going to be your grandpa's Shakespeare, okay? What you're about to see is sometimes called original practices, and I hate that phrase. I like to call it unrehearsed Shakespeare. If I've had a beer or two, I call it Shakespeare for crazy people. But it also happens to be the most fun version of Shakespeare. By original practices, it means that this is actually how Shakespeare's actors worked during his lifetime. Actors in his lifetime did a different play every day. How do you memorize a part the size of Hamlet in a night? I mean, how would they prepare for the first performance of that play? Well, they didn't memorize it. They carried these. This is called a cue script. It has my character's lines and the last 3 or 4 words of my cue, but not who says it. Everything I need to know that actors today work on in rehearsal is in my text. I just need to know exactly what it says, how to find it, and I need to listen to the other actors on stage because they may tell me something to do. So this is a very different way of working. It may seem a little chaotic. It's supposed to, because that's the nature of this play. It's all about chaos and confusion. So with that, thank you all so much for coming, and I hope you enjoy William Shakespeare's Comedy of Errors.
Proceed, Silenus, to procure my fall, and buy the doom of death and woes and all.
Merchant to Syracuse, plead no more. I am not partial to infringe our laws, the enmity and discord which of late sprung from the rancorous outrage of your duke. To merchants, our well-dealing countrymen, who wanting gliders to redeem their lives, have sealed his rigorous statutes with their bloods. Excludes all pity from our threatening looks, for since the mortal in intestine jars, twixt thy serious countrymen and us, it hath in solemn synods been decreed by both the Syracusans and ourselves to admit no traffic to our adverse towns, nay more. If any born at Ephesus be seen at any Syracusan marts and fairs, again, if any Syracusan born come to the bay of Ephesus, he dies. His goods confiscate to the duke's disposed, unless 1,000 marks be levied to quit the penalty and to ransom him. Thy substance, valued at the highest rate, cannot amount unto 100 marks. Therefore, by law, thou art condemned to die.
Yet this my comfort when your words are done, my woes and likewise with the evening sun.
Well, Syracusan, say in brief the cause, why thou departst from thy native home, and for what cause thou came to Ephesus.
A heavier task could not have been imposed than I to speak my griefs unspeakable. Yet that the world may witness that my end was wrought by nature, and not by vile offense, I'll utter what my sorrow gives me leave. In Syracusa was I born, and wed unto a woman happy but for me and by me, and had her hap been bad. With her I lived in joy, our wealth increased by prosperous voyages I often made to Epidemia, till my factor's death in the great care of goods at random left, drew me from kind embracements of my spouse, from whom my absence was not 6 months old before herself, almost at fainting under the pleasing punishment that women bear, had made provision for her following me, and soon and safe arrived where I was. There had she not been long, but she became a joyful mother of 2 goodly sons, and which was strange, the one so like the other as could not be distinguished but by names. That very hour, and in the self same inn, a mean woman was delivered of a burden male, twins both alike. Those, for their parents were exceeding poor, I bought and brought up to attend my sons. My wife, not really proud of two such boys, made daily motions for our home return. Unwilling, I agreed. Alas, too soon we came aboard. A league from Epidemium had we sailed before the always wind-obeying deep gave any tragic instance of our harm. But longer did we not retain much hope. For what obscured light the heavens did grant did but convey unto our fearful minds a doubtful warrant of immediate death, though which myself would gladly have embraced. Yet the incessant weepings of my wife, weeping before for what she saw must come, and piteous playings of the pretty babes that mourned for fashion, ignorant what to fear, forced me to seek delays for them and me, and this it was, for other means was none. The sailors sought for safety by our boat and left the ship, then sinking right to us. My wife, more careful for the latter born, had fastened onto a small spare mast, such as seafaring men provide for swords. To him one of the other twins was bound, whilst I had been like heedful of the other. The children, thus disposed, my wife and I, fixing our eyes as more care was fixed, fastened ourselves at either end of the mast, and floating straight obedient to the stream, was carried towards Corinth, as we thought. At length the sun, gazing upon the earth, dispersed those vapors that offended us, and by the benefit of his wished light, the seas waxed calm, and we discovered two ships from far making amain to us. Of Corinth, that, of Epidaurus, this. But ere they came, oh, let me say no more. Gather the sequel by that which went before.
Nay, forward, old man. Do not break off so, for we may pity, but not pardon thee.
Oh, had the gods done so, I had not now worthily termed them merciless to us. For ere the ships could meet by twice 5 leagues, we were encountered by a mighty rock, which being violently borne up, our helpful ship was splitted in the midst. So in this unjust divorce of us, fortune had left to both of us alike what to delight in, what to sorrow for. Her part, poor soul, seeming is burdened with lesser weight, but not with lesser woe, was carried with more speed before the wind, and in our sight they three were taken up by fishermen of Corinth, as we thought. At length another ship had seized on us, and knowing whom it was their hap to save, gave healthful welcome to their shipwrecked guests, and would have reft the fishers of their prey, had not their bark been very slow of sail, and therefore homeward did they bend their course. Thus have you heard me severed from my bliss, that by misfortunes was my life prolonged, to tell sad stories of my own mishaps.
And for the sake of them thou sorrowest for, do me the favor to dilate at full what hath befallen of them, and they till now.
My youngest boy, and yet my eldest care, at 18 years became inquisitive after his brother, and importuned me that his attendant, so his case was like, reft of his brother, but retained his name, might bear him company in the quest of him, whom whilst I labored of a love to see, I hazarded the loss whom I loved. 5 summers have I spent in farthest Greece, roaming clean through the bounds of Asia, and coasting homeward, came to Ephesus, hopeless to find, yet loath to leave unsought, or that, or any place that harbors men. But here must end the story of my life, and happy were I in my timely death, could all my travels warrant me they live.
Hapless Aegeon, whom the fates have marked to bear the extremity of dire mishap. Now, trust me, were it not against our laws, against my crown, my oath, my dignity, which princes would they may not disannul, my soul should sue as advocate for thee. But though thou art adjudged to the death, and past sentence may not be recalled, but to our honor's great disparagement. Yet will I favor thee in what I can. Therefore, merchant, I'll limit thee this day to seek the help by beneficial help. Try all the friends thou hast in Ephesus. Beg thou, or borrow, to make up the sum, and live. If no, then thou art doomed to die. Jailer, take him to thy custody.
Hopeless and hapless doth Igion wed, but... to procrastinate his liveless end.
Therefore give out you are of Epidamn, blessed that your goods soon be confiscate. This very day a Circusian merchant is apprehended for arrival here, and not being able to buy out his own life according to the statute of the town, dies here in the weary sun set in the west. There is your money, I keep it. That I have to keep.
Go bear it to the Centaur, where we host, and stay there, Dromio, till I return to thee. Within this hour, 'twill be dinner time. Till that, I'll view the manners of the town, peruse the traders, gaze upon the buildings, and then return and sleep within mine inn, for with long travail I am stiff and weary. Get thee away.
Many a man would take you at your word and go indeed on so good a mean.
A trusty villain, sir, that oft when I am racked with care and melancholy, lightens my humor with his merry jests. What, will you walk with me about the town, and then go with mine inn and dine with me?
Oh, I'm invited, sir, to certain merchants of whom I hope to make much benefit. I crave your pardon as soon as 5 o'clock. Please you, I'll meet with you upon the mart, and afterward consort you till bedtime. My present business calls me from you now.
Farewell till then. I will go loose myself, and wander up and down to view the city.
Sir, I commend you to your own content.
He that commends me to mine own content, commends me to the thing I cannot get. I am to the world like a drop of water that in the ocean seeks another drop, who falling there to find his fellow forth, unseen, inquisitive, confounds himself. So I, to find a mother and a brother, thus unhappy lose myself. And here comes the almanac of my true date. How now? How chance thou art returned so soon?
Return so soon, rather approach too late. The capon burns, the pig falls from the spit, the clock has struck it 12 upon the bell. My mistress hath made it 1 upon my cheek. She is so hot because the meat is cold. The meat is cold because you come not home. You come not home because you have no stomach. You have no stomach having broke your fast. We that know which is to fast and pray are penitent for your default today.
Stop in your wind, sir. Tell me this, I pray. Where have you left the money that I gave you?
6 pence I had a Wednesday last to pay the saddler for my mistress's crupper. The saddler had it, sir. I kept it not.
I am not in a sportive mood now. Tell me, and dally not, where is the money? We being strangers here, how darest thou trust so great a charge from thine own custody?
I pray. You jest, sir. As you sit at dinner, I from my mistress come to you in post. If I return, I shall be post indeed, for she will score your fault upon my pate. Methinks your ma, like mine, should be your cook and strike you home without a messenger.
Come, Dromio, come, these jests are out of season. Reserve them till a merrier hour than this. Where is the gold I have in charge to thee?
To me? Sir? Why, you gave no gold to me.
Oh, come on, sir knave, have done your foolishness, and tell me how thou hast disposed thy charge.
My charge was but to fetch you from the mart home to your house. The Phoenix, sir, to dinner. My mistress and her sister stays for you.
Now, as I am a Christian, answer me in what safe place you have bestowed my money, or I shall break that merry sconce of yours that stands on tricks when I am undisposed. Where is the 1,000 marks thou hadst of me?
I have some marks of yours upon my pate, some of my mistress's marks upon my shoulders, but not 1,000 marks between you both. If I should pay your worship those again, perchance you shall not bear them patiently.
Thy mistress's marks? What mistress slave hast thou?
Your worship's wife, my mistress, at the Phoenix, she that doth fast till you come home to dinner, and prays that you will have you home to dinner.
What will thou flout me us into the face, being forbid? There, take you that, sir knave. Bonk, bonk, bonk.
Nay! What means you? For God's sake, hold your hands. Nay, and you will not, sir. I will take to my heels.
Upon my life, by some device or other, the villain is o'erwrought of all my money. They say this town is full of cousinage, as nimble jugglers that deceive the eye, dark-working sorcerers that change the mind, soul-killing witches that deform the body, disguised cheaters prating mountebanks, and many such like liberties of sin. If this be true, I will be gone the sooner. I'll to the centaur to go seek this slave. I very fear my money is not safe.
Neither my husband nor the slave returned, and in such haste I sent to seek his master. Sir, Luciana, it is 2 o'clock.
Perhaps some merchant hath invited him, and from the mart he's gone somewhere to dinner. Good sister, let us dine and never fret. A man is master of his liberty, time is their master, and when they see time, they'll go or come. If so, be patient, sister.
Why should their liberty than ours be more?
Because their business lies out of door.
Look, when I serve him so, he takes it ill.
Oh no, he is the bridle of your will.
There's none but asses will be bridled so.
Why, headstrong liberty is lashed with woe. There's nothing situate under heaven's eye, but hath his bound in earth, in sea, in sky, the beasts, the fishes, the winged fowls are their male subjects, and in their controls man, more divine, and master of all these, lord of the wide world and wild watery seas, endued with intellectual sense and souls of more preeminence than fish and fowls, are masters to their females and their lords. Then let your will attend to their accords.
This servitude makes you keep unwed.
Not this, but troubles of the marriage bed.
But were you wedded, you would bear some sway.
Ere I learned love, I practiced to obey.
How? If your husband starts some otherwhere?
Well, till he come home, I would forbear.
Patience unmoved, no marvel though she pause, they can be meek that have no other cause. A wretched soul, bruised with adversity, we bid be quiet when we hear it cry. But were we burdened with like weight of pain, as much or more we should ourselves complain. So thou that hast no unkind mate to grieve thee, with urging, helpless patience would relieve me. But if thou live to see like right bereft, this fool beg patience in thee will be left.
Well, I will marry one day, but to try. Ah, here comes your man. Now your husband is not.
Say, is your tardy master now at hand? Nay, he's at 2 hands with me, and that my 2 ears can witness. Say, didst thou speak with him? Knowest thou his mind?
Aye, he told his mind upon mine ear, be true his hand. I scarce could understand it.
Spake he so doubtfully that thou couldst not feel his meaning.
Nay, he struck so plainly I could too well feel his blows, and withal so doubtfully that I could scarce understand them.
But say, I prithee, thee, is he coming home? It seems he hath great care to please his wife.
Oh, why, misters, sure my master's horn mad.
Horn mad, thou villain!
I mean not cuckold mad, but sure he is stark mad. When I desired him to come home to dinner, he asked me for 100 marks in gold. 'Tis dinner time, quoth I. My gold, quoth he. Will you come? No, your meat doth burn, quoth I. My gold, quoth he. Will you come, quoth I. My gold, quoth he. Where is the 1,000 marks I gave thee, villain? The pig, quoth I, is burned. My gold, quoth he. My mistress, sir, quoth I. Hang up thy mistress, I know not thy mistress, out on thy mistress.
Quoth who?
Quoth my master. I know, quoth he. No house, no wife, no mistress, so that my errand do unto my tongue. I thank him, I bear home upon my shoulders, for in conclusion he bid me keep it.
Go back again, thou slave, and fetch him home.
Go back again, and he knew beaten home. For God's sake, send some other messenger.
Back, slave, or I will break thy paid cross.
And he will bless that cross with another beating. Between you two, I shall have a holy head.
Hence, prating peasant, fetch thy master home.
Am I so round with you, that like us football, you will spurn me thus, and spurn me hence, and he will spurn me hither. If I last in this service, you must case me in leather.
Ay, how impatience loureth in your face.
His company must do his minions grace, whilst I, at home, starve for a merry look. Hath homely age the alluring beauty took from my poor cheek? Then he hath wasted it. Are my discourses dull, barren my wit, If voluble and sharp discourse be marred, and kindness blunts it more than marble hard. Do their gay vestments his affections bait? That's not my fault, he's master of my state. What ruins are in me that can be found by him not ruined? Then he is the ground of my defeatures. My decayed fair, sunny look of his would soon repair. But too unruly dear, he breaks the pail and feeds from home. Poor I am, but his stale.
Self-harming jealousy, if I beat it hence.
Unfeeling fools can with such wrongs dispense. I know his eye doth homage otherwhere, or else what lets it but he would be here. Sister, you know he promised me a chain. With that alone a love he would detain, so he would keep fair quarter with his bed. I see the jewel best enameled will lose his beauty, yet the gold bides still, that others touch, and often touching will, where gold and no man that hath a name, by falsehood and corruption doth it shame. Since that my beauty cannot please his eye, I'll weep what's left away, and weeping die.
How many fond fools serve mad jealousy?
The gold I gave to Dromio is laid up, safe at the centaur, and the heedful slave is wandered forth, and care to seek me out, by computation and my host's report. I could not speak with Dromio, since at first I sent him from the mart. Oh, see, here he comes. Oh, how now, sir? Is your merry humor altered? As your love strokes, so jest with me again. You know no centaur. You received no gold. Your mistress sent to have me home to dinner. My house was at the Phoenix. Adore. Wast thou mad, that thus so madly thou didst answer me?
What answer, sir? When spake I such a word?
Even now, even here, not half an hour since.
I did not see you since you sent me hence home to the centaur with the gold you gave me.
Villain, thou didst deny the gold's receipt, and told me of a mistress, and a dinner, for which I hope thou feltst I was displeased.
I am glad to see you in this very vein. What means this jest? I pray you, master, tell me.
Oh, yea, thinkst thou I jest, and flout me in the teeth? Hold! Take thou that! Bonk, 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 bonk!
Hold
and that!
Sir, for God's sake, now you're just as an earnest. Upon what bargain give you at me?
Because that I familiarly sometimes do use you for my fool, and chat with you. Your sauciness will jest upon my love, and make a comment of my serious hours. When the sun shines, let foolish gnats make sport, but creep in crannies when he hides his beams. If you will jest with me, know my aspect, or I will break this merry sconce into your method.
Sconce, call you it? So you would leave a battering? I would rather have it a head, and you use these blows long. I must get a sconce for my head, and then sconce it too, or else I shall seek my wit in my shoulders. But I pray, sir, why am I beaten?
Dost thou not know?
Nothing, sir, but that I am beaten.
Shall I tell you why?
Aye, sir, and wherefore, for they say, every why has a wherefore.
Why, first, for flouting me, and then wherefore for urging it the second time to me.
Was there ever any man thus beaten out of season, when in the why and the wherefore is neither rhyme nor reason? Well, sir, I thank you.
Thank me, sir, for what?
Marry, sir, for this is something that you gave me for nothing.
Oh, I'll make you amends next to give you nothing for something. Say, sir, is it dinner time?
No, sir, I think the meat wants what I have.
In good time, sir, what's that?
Basting!
Well, sir, then 'twill be dry.
If it be, sir, I pray you eat none of it.
Oh, your reason?
Lest it make you choleric and purchase me another dry basting.
Well, sir, learn to jest in good time. There's a time for all things.
I just have denied that before you were so choleric.
By what rule, sir?
Marry, sir, by a rule as plain bald pate of Father Time himself.
Let's hear it.
There's no time for a man to recover his hair that grows bald by nature.
May he not do it by fine and recovery?
Well, yes, to pay a fine for another periwig and recover the hair of another lost man.
Why is time such an regard of hair, being as it is so plentiful in excrement?
Because it is a blessing that he bestows on beasts, and what he hath scanted them in hair, he hath given them in wit.
Why, but there's many a man hath more hair than wit.
Not a man of those, but he hath the wit to lose his hair.
Why, thou didst conclude hairy men, plain dealers, without wit.
The plainer the dealer, the sooner lost, yet he loseth in a kind of jollity.
For what reason?
For two, and sound ones true.
Nay, not sound, I pray.
Sure ones, then.
Nay, not sure anything falsing.
Certain ones, then.
Name them.
The one, to save the money that he spends in trying. The other, that at dinner they should not drop in his porridge.
You would have all this time proved there's no time for all things.
Marry and did, sir. Namely, in no time to recover hair lost by nature.
But your reason was not substantial why there's no time to recover.
Thus I mend it. The time himself is bald, and therefore to the world's end will have bald followers.
I knew it would be a bald conclusion. But soft, who walks this way yonder?
I, Antipholus, look strange and frown. Some other mistress hath thy sweet aspects. I am not Adriana or thy wife. The time was once when thou unurged wouldst vow that never words were music to thine ear, that never sweet savor to thy taste, that never object pleasing in thine eye, unless I spake or looked or touched or carved to thee. How comes it now, my husband? Oh, how comes it that thou art then estranged from thyself? Thyself, I call it, being strange to me, that undividable, incorporate, and better than thy dear self's better part. Ah, do not tear thyself from me! For know, my love, as easy mayst thou fall a drop of water in the breaking gulf, and take unmingled thence that drop again, without addition or diminishing, as take from me thyself and not me too. How dearly would it touch thee to the quick, shouldst thou but hear I were licentious, and that this body, consecrate to thee, by ruffian lust should be contaminate? Wouldst thou not spit at me, and spurn at me, and hurl the name of husband in my face, and tear the stained skin off my harlot brow, and from my false hand cut the wedding ring, and break it with the deep divorcing vow? I know thou canst, and therefore see thou do it. I am possessed with an adulterate blot. My blood is mingled with the crime of lust, for if we two be one and thou play false, I do digest the poison of thy flesh, being strumpeted by thy contagion. Keep then fair league, and truce with thy true bed. I live disdained, thou undishonored.
Plead you to me, fair dame? I know thee not. In Ephesus I am but 2 hours old, as strange unto your town as to your talk, who, every word by all my wit being scanned, wants wit in all one word to understand.
Fie, brother, how the world is changed with you. When were you wont to use my sister thus? She sent for you by Dromio.
By me?
By
To dinner.
Dromio.
By me?
By thee, and this thou didst return from him, that he did buffet thee, and then his blows denied my house for his, and me for his wife.
Did you converse, sir, with this gentlewoman? What is the course and drift of your conduct?
Sir, I never saw her until before this time.
Villain, thou liest! For even now her very words didst thou deliver to me on the mart.
I never spake with her in all my life.
Then how can she thus call us by our names, unless it be by inspiration?
How ill agrees it with your gravity to counterfeit thus grossly with your slave, abetting him to thwart me in my mood. Be it my wrong, you are from me exempt, but wrong not that wrong with a more contempt. Come, I will fasten on this sleeve of thine. Thou art an elm, my husband, I, a vine, whose weakness married to thy stranger state makes of me thy strength to communicate. If aught possess thee from me, it is dross, usurping ivy, briar, idle moss, who all for went to pruning with intrusion, infect thy sap and live on thy confusion.
To me she speaks. She moves me for her theme. What, was I married to her in a dream? Or sleep I now and think I hear all this? What errors drive our eyes and ears amiss? Until I know this sure uncertainty, I'll entertain the offered fallacy.
Dromio, go bid the servants fed for dinner. Okay.
Oh, for my beads, I cross me for a sinner. This is the fairy land. Oh, spite of spites, we talk with goblins, owls, and sprites. If we obey them not, this will ensue. They'll suck our breath and pinch us black and blue.
Why pratest thou to thyself and answerest not? Dromio, thou Dromio, thou smart!
I am transformed, master, am I not?
Take thou art in mind, and so am I.
Nay, master, both in mind and in my shape.
Oh, thou hast thine own form.
No, I am an ape.
Oh, if thou art changed to aught as to an ass.
Ah, 'tis true, she rides me and I long for grass. 'Tis so, I am an ass, else it could never be, but I should know her as well as she knows me.
Come, no longer will I be a fool to put the finger in the eye and weep whilst man and master laughs my woes to scorn. Come, sir, to dinner. Dromio, keep the gate. Husband, I'll dine above with you today and shrive you of 1,000 idle pranks. Sirrah, if any ask you for your master, say he dine forth and let no creature enter. Come, sister. Dromio, play the porter well.
Am I in earth, in heaven, or in hell? Sleeping or waking, mad or well advised? Known unto these and to myself disguised. I'll say as they say and persever so, and in this mist at all adventures go.
Master, shall I be the porter at the gate?
Aye, and let none enter lest I break your pate. Come, Antipholus, we dine too late.
Good Signor Angelo, you must excuse us all. My wife is shrewish when I keep not hours. Say that I lingered with you at your shop to see the making of her carcanet, and that tomorrow you will bring it home. But here's a villain that will face me down. He met me on the mart, and that I beat him, and charged him with 1,000 marks in gold, and that I did deny my wife and house. Thou drunkard, thou, what dost thou mean by this?
Say what you will, sir, but I know what I know, that you beat me at the mart. I have your hand to show. If the skin were parchment and the blows you gave were ink, your own handwriting would tell you what I think.
I think thou art an ass.
Marry, so it doth appear by the wrongs I suffer and the blows I bear. I should kick, be kicked, and being at that pass, you should keep from my heels and beware of an ass.
You're sad, Signor Balthasar. For God, our chair will answer my goodwill and your good welcome here.
I hold your dainties cheap, sir, and you're welcome, dear.
Oh, Signor Balthasar, I dare at flesh or fish, a table full of welcome makes scarce one dainty dish.
Good meat, sir, is common that every shirl affords.
Welcome or common, for that's nothing but wards.
Small cheer and great welcome makes a merry feast.
Aye, to a niggardly host and more sparing geese. But, though my cates be mean, take them in good part. Better cheer you may have, but not with better heart. But soft, my door is,
Did we forget it?
gone.
Kevin!
Kevin's not here this
Oh, of course, Kevin is not here this semester.
Ray's also not here.
Gino!
Oh, this is embarrassing.
Did we forget to build one? Someone?
Yes. Anyone in the audience care to cosplay as Door?
We have a volunteer!
Yes, sir in the back row.
Give it up for the door, folks!
Give it up for, what's your name? Give it up for the door.
All right, you just like stand
here. Face. Yep.
Your arm out is a handle.
Yep. Door handle. Door. Go bid them let us in.
Mom! Bridget, Marion! Cicely! Julian!
Malma, Malthorse, Capon, Coxcomb, idiot! Patch! Either get thee from the door, or sit down at the hatch. Dost thou conjecture for wenches, that thou call'st for such store? When one is too many, go get thee from the door!
What patch has made our porter? My master stays in the street.
Let him walk from whence he came, lest he catch cold on one's feet.
Who talks within there? Oh, open the door.
Right, sir, I'll tell you when, and you'll tell me wherefore.
Wherefore? For my dinner, I am not dined today.
Nor today, here you must not come again when you may.
What art thou that keeps me out from the house I owe?
The porter for this time, sir, and my name is Dromio.
Oh, villain, thou hast stolen both mine office and my name. The one there got me credit, the other mickle blame. If thou had been Dromio today in my place, one it would have changed thy face for a name or thy name for an ass. What a coil is there, Dromio? Who are those at the gate? Let my master in, Luce. Faith, no, he comes too late, and so tell your master. Oh, Lord, I must laugh. Have at you with a proverb. Shall I set in my staff? Have at you with another, that's when. Can you tell?
If thy name be Luce, thou hast answered him well.
Do you hear, you minion? You let us in, I hope.
I thought to have asked you.
And you said no.
So come help, Wolfstrook. There was blow for blow.
Thou baggage, let me in!
Can you tell for whose sake? Master, knock the door hard. Let him knock till it ache.
He'll cry for this, me ninny, if I beat the door down.
What needs all that in a pair of stocks in the town?
Who is at the door that keeps all this noise?
By my troth, your town is troubled with unruly boys.
Are you there, wife? You might have come before.
Your wife, sir knave! Go get you from the door!
If you went and pay master, this knave would go sore.
Here is neither cheer, sir, nor welcome. We would fain have either.
In debating which was best, we shall part with neither.
They stand at the door, master, bid them welcome hither.
There is something in the wind that we cannot get in.
You would say so, master, if your garments were thin. Your cake here is warm within. You stand here in the cold, it would make a man that is above to be so bought and sold.
Go fetch me something. I'll break up the gate.
Break any break in here, and I'll break your knave's pate.
A man may break word with you, sir, and words are but wind. I am breaking in your face, so he breaks it up behind.
It seems thou wants breaking out upon thee hind.
Here's so much out upon thee, I pray thee, let me in.
Aye, when fowls have no feather and fish have no fin.
Well, I'll break in. Go borrow me a crow.
A crow? Without feather, master, mean you so fur. Fish without fin, there's a fowl without feathers. A crow? Help us in, sirrah, we'll pluck a crow together.
Go get thee gone, fetch me an iron crow.
Have patience, sir. Oh, let it not be so. Herein you war against your reputation, and draw within the compass of suspect the unviolated honor of your wife. Once this your long experience of your wisdom, her sober virtue, years, and modesty, plead on your part some cause to you unknown, and doubt not, sir, but she will well excuse why at this time the doors are made against you. Be ruled by me. Depart in patience, and let us all to the Tiger for dinner. And about evening, come yourself alone to know the reason of this strange restraint. If by strong hand you offer to break in, now in the stirring passage of the day, a vulgar comment will be made of it. And that, supposed by the common route against your yet ungalled estimation, that may with foul intrusion enter in and dwell upon your grave when you are dead. For slander lives upon succession, and forever housed where it gets possession.
You have prevailed. I will depart in quiet, and in despite of mirth, mean to be merry. I know a wench of excellent discourse, pretty and witty, wild and yet too gentle. There will we dine. This woman that I mean my wife, but I protest without desert, hath oftentimes upbraided me withal. To her will we to dinner. Get you home and fetch the chain. By this I know 'tis done. Bring it, I pray you, to the Porpentine, for there's the house. That chain will I bestow, be it for nothing, but to spite my wife, upon mine hostess there. Good sir, make haste. Since mine own doors refuse to entertain me, I'll look elsewhere, see if they'll disdain me.
I'll meet you in that place some hour hence.
Do so, this jest shall cost me some expense.
Let's have a hand for the door!
And may it be that you have quite forgot a husband's office? Shall Antipholus, even in the spring of love thy springs rot? Shall love and bindings grow so ruined if you did wed my sister for her wealth? Then for her wealth's sake use her with more kindness. Or if you like elsewhere, do it by stealth. And let not my sister read it in your eye, be not thy tongue thy shame's own orator. Spoke sweet, speak fair, become disloyalty. Apparel vice like virtue's harbinger. Bear fair presence, though your heart be tainted, and teach sin the carriage of a holy saint. Be secret false, what need she be acquainted? And let her look and read it at thy looks, bored, shame hath a bastard face. With an evil word, alas, poor women, make us believe, being compact of credit, that you love us. Though even others have the arm, show us the sleeve. We in your motion turn, you may move us. Then, gentle brother, get you in again, comfort my sister, cheer her, call her wise, 'tis holy sport to be little vain when the breath of flattery conquers strife.
Sweet mistress, what your name is else I know not, nor by what wonder you do hid of mine, less in your knowledge and your grace you show not than our earth's wonder, more than earth divine. Teach me, dear creature, how to think and how to speak. Lay open to my earthly gross conceits, smothered in errors feeble, shallow, weak. The folded meanings of my words' deceit. Against my soul's pure truth, why labor you to make it wander in an unknown field? Hey, are you a god? Would you create me new?
No.
Transform me then into your power I'll yield. But if that I am I, then well I know your dear sister is no wife of mine, nor to her bed no homage do I owe. Far more to you do I decline. Oh, train me not, sweet mermaid, with thy note to drown me in thy sister's flood of tears. Sing, siren, for thyself, and I will dote. Spread over the silver waves thy golden hairs. And as a bud I'll take them, and there I'll lie, and in that glorious supposition think he gains by death that hath such means to die. Let love, being light, be drowned if she sink.
What? Are you mad that you do reason so?
Not mad, but mated. How I do not know.
It is a fault that springeth from your eye.
From gazing on your beams, fair sun, being by.
No, gaze where you should. Gaze where you should. That will clear your sight.
As good to wink, sweet love, as to look on night.
Why call you me love? Call you my sister so.
Thy sister's sister.
Oh, that's my sister.
No, it is thyself, mine own self's better part. Mine eyes, clear eye, my dear heart's dearer heart. My food, my fortune, and my sweet hope's aim. My soul earth's heaven, my heaven's claim.
All this my sister should be.
Call thyself sister sweet, for I am thee. Thee will I love, and with thee lead my life. Thou hast no husband yet, nor I no wife. Give me thy hand.
Ah, how soft. Sir, hold you still. I'll fetch my sister and get her goodwill.
Why, how now, Dromio? Where runnest thou so fast?
Do you know me, sir? Am I Dromio? Am I your man? Am I myself?
Thou art Romeo, thou art my man, thou art thyself.
I am an ass, I am a woman's man, and beside
A
myself.
woman's man, and how besides thyself?
Marry, sir, beside myself, I am due to a woman. One that claims me, one that haunts me, one that will have me.
What claims lay she to thee?
Marry, sir, such claim as you would lay to your horse, and she would have me as a beast, not that I, being a beast, she would have me, but that she, being a very beastly creature, lays claim to me.
What is she?
A very reverent body, I, such a one as a man may not speak of, without he say, sir, reverence. I have but lean luck in the match, and yet she is a wondrous fat marriage.
How dost thou mean, a fat marriage?
Marry, sir, she's the kitchen wench, and all grease, and I know not what use to put her to, but to make a lamp of her, and run from her by her own light. I warn, her rags and the tallow in them will burn a Poland winter. If she lives till doomsday, she'll burn a week longer than the rest of the world.
What complexion is she of?
Swart, like my shoe, but her face nothing so clean kept. For why? She sweats a man may go over shoes in the grime of it.
That's a fault that water will mend.
No, sir, 'tis in grain. Noah's flood could not do it.
What's her name?
Nell, sir, but her name is 3/4. That's an L and 3/4 will not measure her from hip to hip.
Then she bears some breadth.
No longer from head to foot than from hip to hip. She is spherical, like a globe. I could find out countries in her.
And what part of her body stands Ireland?
Marry, sir, the buttocks. I found out by the bogs.
Where Scotland?
I found it by the Baroness, hard in the palm of her hand.
Where France?
I in her forehead, armed and reverted, making war against her heir.
Where England?
I looked for the chalk cliffs, but I could find no whiteness in them. But I guess it stood in her chin by the salt room that ran between France and it.
And where's Spain? Where's Spain?
Faith, I saw it not, but I felt it hot in her breath.
We're America, the Indies.
Oh, sir, upon her nose, all ore embellished with rubies, carbuncles, sapphires, declining their rich aspect to the hot breath of Spain, who sent whole armadas of caressecs to ballast at her nose.
Where stood Belgium, the Netherlands?
Oh, sir, I did not look so low. To conclude, this drudge or diviner laid claim to me, called me Dromio, swore I was assured to her, told me what privy marks I had about me, as the mark on my shoulder, the mole in my neck, the great wart on my left arm, that I, amazed, ran from her as a witch. And I think if my breast had not been made of faith and my heart of steel, she had transformed me to a curtal dog and made me turn at the wheel.
Go hide thee presently. Post to the road, and if the wind blow any way from shore, I will not harbor in this town tonight. If any bark put forth, come to the mart, or I will walk till thou return to me. If everyone knows us, and we know none, 'tis time, I think, to trudge, to pack, and be gone.
As a bear from a man would run for life, so I fly from her that would be my wife.
There's none but witches do inhabit here, and therefore 'tis high time that I were hence. She that doth call me husband, even my soul doth for a wife abhor. Oh, but her fair sister, possessed with such a gentle, sovereign grace, of such enchanting presence and discourse, hath almost made me traitor to myself. But lest myself be guilty to himself wrong, I'll stop mine ears against the mermaid's song.
Master Antipholus.
Aye, that's my name.
I know it well, sir. Lo, here's the chain. I thought to have ta'en you at the Porpentine. The chain unfinished made me stay thus long.
What is your will that I shall do with this?
What please yourself, sir. I made it for you.
Who made it for me, sir? I bespoke it not.
Not once, nor twice, but 20 times you have. Go home with it. Please your wife withal. And soon at supper time, I'll visit you and receive my money for the chain.
I pray you, sir, receive the money now, for fear you ne'er see the chain nor money more.
You are a merry man, sir. Fare you well.
What I should think of this, I cannot tell. But this, I think, there's not a man so vain that would refuse so fair an offered chain. I see a man here not live by shifts, when in the streets he meets such golden gifts. I'll to the mart, and there for Dromio stay. If any ship put out, then straight away.
You know, since the sun is due, and since I have not much importuned you, nor had I not now, but that I am bound to Persia, what guilders for my voyage. Therefore make present satisfaction, or I will attach you by the song, sir.
Even the sum that I do owe to you is growing to me by Antipholus. And in the instance that I met with you, he had of me a chain at 5 o'clock. I shall receive the money for the same. Please, if you walk with me down to his house, I will discharge my bond and thank you too.
That labor may you save, see where he comes.
While I go to the goldsmith's house, go thou and buy a rope's end. That will I bestow between my wife and their confederates for locking me out my doors by day. Besoft, I see the goldsmith. Get thee gone, buy me a rope and bring it home to me.
I buy £1,000 a year, I buy a rope.
Man is well holp up that trusts to you. I promised your presents and a chain, but neither chain nor goldsmith came to me. Like you thought our love would last too long if we were chained together, and therefore came not.
Saving your merry humor, sir. Here's the note. How much your chain weighs to the utmost carat, the fineness of the gold, and charge full fashion, which doth amount to 3 odd ducats more than I send it to this gentleman. I pray you see him presently discharged, for he is bound to sea and stays but for it.
I am not furnished with the present money. Besides, I have business in the town. Good signor, take the stranger to my house, and bid with you take the chain, and bid my wife disperse the sum on the receipt thereof. Perchance I will be there as soon as you.
Then you will bring the chain to her yourself.
No, bear it with you, lest I come not time enough.
Well, sir, I will. Have you the chain about you?
And if I have not, sir, I hope you have, or else you may return without your money.
Nay, come, I pray you, sir, give me the chain. Both wind and tide stays for this gentleman, and I to blame have kept him here too long.
Oh, good Lord, you use his dalliance to excuse your breach of promise to the Porpentine. I should chid you for not bringing it. But like a shrew, you first begin to brawl.
The hour steals on. I pray you, sir, dispatch.
You hear how he importunes me. The chain.
Oh, I give it to my wife and fetch your money.
Come, you know I gave it to you even now. I Either send the chain or send me by some token.
Oh, fine. Now you run this humor out of breath. Come, where's the chain? I pray you let me see it.
My business cannot brook the stallions. Good sir, say whether you'll answer me or no. If not, I'll leave him to this officer.
Well, I answer you. What should I answer you?
The money that you owe me for the chain.
I owe you none till I receive the chain.
You know I gave it to you half an hour since.
Oh, you gave me none. You wrong me much to say so.
You wrong me more, sir, in denying it. Consider how it stands upon my credit.
Well, officer, arrest him at my suit.
I do charge you in the Duke's name to obey me.
This touches me in reputation. Either consent to pay this sum for me, or I touch you by this officer.
Consent to pay thee that I never had. Arrest me, foolish fellow, if thou darest.
Here is thy fee. Arrest him, officer.
I
would not spare my brother in this case if he should scorn me so apparently.
I do arrest you. Sir, you hear the suit.
I do obey thee, till I give thee bail. But, sirrah, you shall buy this sport as dear as all the metal in your shop will answer.
Sir, I shall have law in Ephesus. To your notorious shame, I doubt it not.
Master. There's a bank of epidemium that stays but till her owner comes aboard, and then she bears away. Our fraughtage, sir, I've conceived aboard, and I've bought the oil, the balsamum, the aquavitae. The ship is in her trim, the merry wind blows fair from land. They stay for not all, but their owner, master, and yourself.
How now, a madman? By the peevish ship, what ship of epidemium stays for me?
A ship you sent me to air waftage.
Thou drunken slave, I sent thee for a rope, and told thee to what purpose and what end.
You sent me for a rope's end as soon. You sent me to the bay, sir, for a bark.
I will debate this matter at more leisure, and teach you your ears to list me with more heed. Send it. Tell her I am arrested in the street, and that shall bail me. Hide thee, slave, be gone! On, officer, to prison, till I come.
To Adriana? That is where we dined, where Dalzibel did claim me for her husband. She is too big, I hope, for me to compass. Thither I must, though against my will, for servants must their masters' minds fulfill.
Ah, Luciana, did he tempt thee so? Mightest thou perceive austerely in his eye that he did plead in earnest, yea or no? Looked he or red or pale or sad or merrily? Oh, what observation makest thou in this case? Oh, his heart's meteors tilting in his face!
First, he denied that you had in him no right.
He meant he did me none, the more my spite.
Then he swore that he was a stranger here.
And true he swore, yet forsworn he were.
Then I pleaded for you.
And what said he?
The love I begged for you, he begged of me.
With what persuasion did he tempt thy love?
With words that in honest suit might move. First he did praise my beauty, then my speech.
Did speak him fair?
Patience, I beseech.
I cannot, nor I will not hold me still. My tongue, though not my heart, shall have his will. He is deformed, crooked, old, sere, ill-faced, worse-bodied, shapeless, everywhere. Vicious, ungentle, foolish, blunt, unkind, stigmatical in making, worse in mind.
Who would be jealous then of such a one? No evil lost his wail when it is gone.
Oh, but I think him better than I say. And yet would herein others' eyes were worse. Far from her nest the lapwing cries away. My heart prays for him, though my tongue do curse!
Here, go! The desk, the purse! Sweet, now make haste!
How hast thou lost thy breath?
By running fast.
Where is thy master, Dromio? Is he well?
No, he's in Tartar limbo. Worse than hell. A divil.
Yep. What?
A divil in an everlasting garment hath him, on whose hard heart is buttoned up with steel. A fiend, a fairy, a pitiless and roof. A fiend, a fairy, pitiless and rough, a wolf, nay, worse, a fellow, all in all buff. A black friend, a shoulder clapper, one that countermands the passage of allies, crypts and narrow lands, A hound that runs counter, yet draws driftwood well. One that before the judgment carries poor souls to hell.
Why, man? What is the matter?
I do not know the matter. He's arrested on the case.
What is he arrested? Tell me at whose suit.
I know not at whose suit he is arrested well, but is in a suit of buff, which rested him, that I can tell. Will you send him, Mistress Redemption, the money in his desk?
Go fetch it, sister. This I wonder at, that unknown to me, he should be in debt. Tell me, was he arrested on a band?
Not on a band, but on a stronger thing. A chain. A chain! Do you not hear it ring?
What, the chain?
No, the bell. 'Tis time I were gone. It was 2 ere I left him, and now the clock strikes 1.
The hours turn back. That did I never hear.
Oh yes, if any hour meets a surgeon, a turns back for a very fear.
As if time were in debt. How fondly dost thou reason?
Time is very bankrupt, and owes more than he's worth a season. Nay, he's a thief too. Have you not heard men say that time comes stealing on by night and day? If I be in debt and theft, and a surgeon in the way, hath he not reason to turn back an hour and a day?
Go, Dromio. There's the money, bear it straight, and bring thy master home immediately. Come, sister, I am pressed down with conceit. Conceit, go. My comfort and my injury.
There's not a man I meet but doth salute me, as though I were their well-acquainted friend, and everyone doth call me by my name. Thanks, guys. Some tender money to me, some invite me, some other give me thanks for kindnesses, some offer me commodities to buy. Even now a tailor called me in his shop and showed me silks that he had bought for me, and therewithal took measure of my body. Sure, these are but imaginary wiles, and Lapland sorcerers to inhabit here.
Master, here's gold you sent me for.
What gold is this?
Master.
What Adam dost thou mean?
Not that Adam that keeps the paradise, but that Adam that keeps the prison. Oh, shit. Gold! He that goes in the calfskin that was killed me for the prodigal. He that came behind you, sir, like an evil angel, and bid you forsake your liberty.
I understand thee not.
No? Why, 'tis a plain case. He that went like a base viol in a case of leather. The man, sir, that when gentlemen are tired, give them sob and rests them. He, sir, that takes pity on decayed men and gives them sweet sojourns. He that sets up his rest to do more exploits with his mace than a Morris pike.
Oh, what, thou meanst a pig, an officer?
Aye, sir, and a sergeant of the band. He that brings any man to answer that breaks the band. One that thinks a man always goes to bed and says, God, give you rest.
Well, there rest in your foolery. Is there any ships put forth tonight? May we be gone?
Why, sir, I brought you word an hour since that the bark expedition put forth tonight, and that you are hindered by the surgeon for the holy delay. Here are the angels that you sent for to deliver to you.
The fellow is distracted, and so am I. Here we wander in illusions. Some blessed power deliver us from thence.
Well met, Master Antipholus. I see you have found the goldsmith now. Is that the chain you promised me today?
Satan avoid, I charge thee, tempt me not.
Master, is this Mr. Satan?
It is the devil.
Nay, she is worse. She is the devil's dam. And here she comes in the habit of a light wench, and there comes that that wenches say, God damn me, that's as much to say, God give me a light wench. It is written, they appear to men like angels of light. Light is in effect fire, and fire will burn. Ergo, light witches will burn. Come not near her.
You're a man and you are marvelous married, sir. Oh, will you go with me? We'll mend our dinner here.
Master, if you do expect spoon meat or besake a long spoon.
Why, Dromio?
Mary, he must have a long spoon that eats with the devil.
Avaunt then, fiend! What tell'st me thou of supping? Thou art, as you are, all a sorceress. I conjure thee to leave me, and be gone! Power of Father, Son, Holy Spirit.
Sir, give me the ring of mine you had at dinner, or for my diamond the chain you promised, and I'll be gone, sir, and not trouble you.
Some divils ask but the parings of one's nail, a rush, a hair, a drop of blood, a pin, a nut, a cherry stone, but she, more covetous, would have a chain. Master, be wise, and if you give it to her, the devil will shake her chain and fright us with it.
I pray you, sir, my ring, or else the chain.
Avaunt, thou witch!
Cheat me.
Avaunt, thou witch! Come, Dromio, let us go!
Pride, says the peacock. Mistress, that you know.
Now, out of doubt, Antipholus is mad. Else would he never so demean himself. A ring he hath of mine worth 40 ducats, and for the same he promised me a chain. Both one another he denies me now. The reason that I gather he is mad. Beside this present instant of his rage, is a mad tale he told me today at dinner, of his own doors being shut against his entrance. Be like his wife acquainted with his fits, on purpose shut the doors against his way. My way is now to hie home to his house, and tell his wife that being a lunatic, he rushed into my house and took perforce my ring away. This course I fittest choose, for 40 ducats is too much to lose.
Fear me not, man. I will not break away. I will give thee, ere I leave thee, so much money to pay thee as I am rested for. My wife is in a wayward mood today and will not lightly trust the messenger that I should be attached in Ephesus. I tell you, it will sound harshly in her ears. Ah, here comes my man. I think he brings some money. How now, sir? Have you that I sent you for?
Here's what I warrant. You will pay them all.
But where's the money?
Why, sir, I gave the money for the rope.
500 ducats, villain, for a rope!
I'll serve you, sir, 500 at the rate.
To what end did I bid thee hie thee home?
To a rope's end, sir, and to that end I am returned.
And to that end I will welcome you.
Good sir, be patient. Nay, 'tis for me to be patient. I am in adversity.
Good, now hold thy tongue.
Nay, rather persuade him to hold his hand.
That poor senseless villain!
I would! I were senseless, sir, that I might not feel your blows.
Thou art senseless in nothing but blows, and so is an ass.
I am an ass. Indeed. You may prove it by my long ears. I have served him from the hour of his nativity to this instant, and I have nothing at his hands for my service but blows. When I am cold, he heats me with beating. When I am warm, he cools me with beating. I am waked with it when I sleep, driven out of doors with it when I sit. Driven out of doors with it when I go home, welcomed home with it when I return. Nay, I bear it on my shoulders, like a beggar won her bread. And I think when he hath lamed me with it, I shall beg with it from door to door.
Come, go along, my wife is coming yonder.
Mistress, speech Aphanim, respect your end, or rather the parent, like the prophecy, beware the rope's end.
Oh, wilt thou still talk?
How say you now? Is your husband not mad?
His incivility confirms no less. Good, Dr. Pinch. You are a conjurer. Establish him in his true sense again, and I will please you what you will demand.
Alas, how fiery and how sharp he looks.
Mark how he trembles in his ecstasy.
Give me your hand and let me feel your pulse.
There is my hand, and let it feel your ear.
I charge thee, Satan, housed within this man, to yield possession to my holy prayers, and to thy state of darkness hie thee straight. I conjure thee through all the saints in heaven.
Oh, peace, doting wizard, peace, I'm not mad.
Oh, that thou wert not, poor distressed soul.
Oh, you minion, you are these your customers? Did this companion with the saffron face revel and feasted at my house today? Was upon me my guilty doors were shut, and I denied to enter in my house?
Oh, husband, God doth know you dined at home today, where would you had remained until this time, free from these slanders and this open shame.
Dined at home? Thou villain, what sayest thou?
Sir, say you did not dine at home.
Were not my doors locked up and I shut out?
Pretty, your doors were locked, and you were shut out.
And did not she herself revile me there?
Sans fables, she herself reviled you there.
And did her kitchen maid rail, taunt, and scorn me?
Certes, the kitchen vestal scorned you.
And did not I, enraged, depart from thence?
In veritel you did. Bones bear witness that since I felt the vigor of his rage.
Is good to soothe him in these contraries?
It is no shame. The fellow finds his vein, and yielding to him humors well his frenzy.
Thou hast suborned the goldsmith to arrest me.
Alas, I sent you money to redeem you by Dromio here, who came in haste for it.
Money by me? Heart and goodwill you might, but surely, master, not a rag of money.
Went'st not thou to her for a purse of ducats?
He came, and I delivered it. I am witness to her that she did.
God and the rope maker bear me witness that I'm sent for nothing but a rope.
Mistress, both man and master is possessed. I know it by their pale and deadly looks. They must be bound and laid in some dark room.
Say, wherefore didst thou lock me forth today? And why dost thou deny the bag of gold?
I did not, gentle husband, lock thee forth.
And gentle master, I received no gold, but I confess, sir, that we were locked out.
Dissembling villain, thou speakest false in both.
Oh, dissembling harlot, thou art false in all, and art confederate with a damned pact, to make a loathsome, abject scorn of me. But with these nails I'll pluck out these false eyes that should behold in me this shameful sport.
Ah, bind him! Bind him! Let him come not near me!
More company! The fiend is strong within him.
I mean, poor man, how pale and wan he looks.
What, will you murder me, thou jailer, thou? I am thy prisoner. Wilt thou suffer them to make a rescue?
Masters, let him go. He is my prisoner, and you shall not have him.
Go bind this man, for he is frantic too.
What wilt thou do, thou peevish officer? Hast thou delight to see a wretched man do outrage and displeasure to himself? He is my prisoner. If I let him go, the debt he owes will be required of me. I will discharge thee ere I go from thee. Bear me forthwith unto his creditor, and knowing how debt grows, I will pay it. Good master doctor, seem safe conveyed home to my house. Oh, most unhappy day!
Oh, most unhappy strumpet.
Master, I am here entered in bond for you.
Out on thee, villain, why dost thou mad me?
Will you be bound for nothing? Be mad, good master, cry the devil.
Oh, God help these poor souls, how idly they do talk. Go, bear him hence. Sister, go you with me. Say now, whose suit is he arrested at?
One Angelo, a goldsmith. Do you know him?
I know the man. What is the sum he owes?
200 ducats.
Say, how grows it due?
Due for a chain your husband had of him.
He did bespeak a chain for me, but had it not.
When as your husband all enraged today came to my house and took away my ring, the ring I saw upon his finger now, straight after I did meet him with the chain.
It may be so, but I did never see it. Come, jailer, bring me where the goldsmith is. I long to know the truth hereof at large.
Ah!
God, for thy mercy, they are lost again! And come with naked swords! Let's call more help to have them bound again!
Look at this! I see these witches are afraid of swords.
So that would be your wife? Now ran from you.
Come to the centaur, fetch our stuff from thence. I long that we were safe and sound aboard.
Faith, stay thee here this night. They will surely do us no harm. You saw they speak us fair, give us gold. Methinks such a gentle nation, that but for the mountain of mad flesh that claims marriage of me, I could find it in my heart to stay here and turn witch.
I will not stay tonight for all the town. Therefore away and get our stuff aboard.
Oh.
But I protest he had the chain of me, though most dishonestly he doth deny it.
How is the man esteemed here in the city?
A very reverend reputation, sir. Of credit infinite, highly beloved. Second to none that lives here in the city. His word might bear my wealth at any time.
Speak softly, yonder as I think he walks.
'Tis so, that self-chain about his neck. which he forswore most monstrously to have. Good sir, draw near to me. I'll speak to him. Signor Antipholus, I wonder much that you would put me to such shame and trouble, and not without some scandal to yourself. What circumstance indulged so to deny this chain, which now you wear so openly? Besides the charge, the shame, imprisonment, you have done wrong to my most honest friend, who, but for staying on our controversy, had hoisted sail and put to sea today. This chain you had of me, can you deny it?
I think I had. I never did deny it.
Yes, that you did, sir, and forswore it, too.
Who heard me deny it or forswear it?
These ears of mine, thou knowest it hear thee. Oh, fie on thee, wretch. 'Tis a pity thou livest, to walk where any honest men resort.
Thou art a villain to impeach me thus. I'll prove mine honor and mine honesty against thee presently, if thou darest stand.
I dare and do defy thee for a villain.
Hold! Hurt him not, for God's sake, he is mad. Some get within him and take his sword away. Bind Dromio too and bear them to my house.
Run, master, run, for God's sake! Take to a house. This is some prior. We are spoiled.
Oh, be quiet, people. Where throng you hither?
To fetch my poor, distracted husband hence. Let us come in that we may bind him fast and bear him home for his recovery.
I knew he was not in his perfect wits.
Oh, I am sorry now that I did draw on him.
How long hath this possession held the man?
This week he hath been heavy, sore sad, much different than the man he was, but till this afternoon his passion ne'er brake into extremity of rage.
Hath he not lost much wealth by the rack of sea? Buried some dear friend, hath not else his eye? Strayed his affection in unlawful love, a sin prevailing much in youthful men, who give their eyes of the liberty gazing. Of which of these sorrows is he subject to?
To none of these, except it be the last, namely some love that drew him oft from home.
You should for that have reprehended him.
Why, so I did.
Aye, but not rough enough.
As roughly as my modesty would let me.
Happily in private.
And in assemblies, too.
But not enough.
It was the copy of our conference. In bed he slept, not for my urging it. At board he fed, not for my urging it. Alone it was the subject of my theme. In company I often glanced it. Still did I tell him it was vile and bad.
And thereof came of it, that the man was mad. The venom clamors of a jealous woman poisons more deadly than a mad dog's tooth. It seems that his sleeps were hindered by thy railing, and thereof comes that his head is light. Thou say'st his meat was soft with thy upbraidings. Quiet meals make for ill digestions. Thereof the raging fire of fever bred. And what is a fever but a fit of madness? Thou say'st his sports were hindered by thy rails. Sweet recreation barred, what doth ensue but moody and dull melancholy. Kinsmen grim and comfortless despair at her heels, a huge infectious troop of pale distemperatures and foes for life. In food, in sport, and life-preserving rest to be disturbed would mad or man or beast. The consequences then thy jealousy fits have scarred thy husband from the use of wits.
She never reprehended him but mildly. When he demeaned himself, rough, rude, and wildly, why bear you these rebukes and answer not?
She did betray me to my own reproof. Good people, enter and lay a hold of him.
No, not a creature enters my house.
Then let your servants bring my husband forth.
Neither. He took this place for sanctuary, and it shall privilege him from your hands, till I have brought him to his wits again, or lose my labor in assaying it.
I will attend my husband, be his nurse, diet his sickness, for it is my office, and will have no attorney but myself, and therefore let me have him home with me.
Be patient, for I will not let him stir, till I have thus approved the means I have, with wholesome stirrups, drugs, and holy prayers, to make of him a formal man again. It is a branch and parcel of mine oath, a terrible duty of mine order, Therefore, depart and leave him here with me.
I will not hence and leave my husband here, and ill it doth beseem your holiness to separate the husband and the wife.
Be quiet and depart! You shall not have him!
Oh, complain unto the Duke of this indignity. Come, go, I will fall prostrate at his feet and never rise, until my tears and prayers have won his grace to come in person hither and take perforce my husband from the abyss!
By this, I think the dial points at a 5. Anon, I'm sure the Duke himself in person comes this way to the melancholy vale, the place of death and sorry execution, behind the ditches of the abbey here.
Upon what cause?
To see a reverend Syracusian merchant who, put unluckily into this bay against the laws and statutes of this town, be beheaded publicly for his offense.
See where they come. We will behold his death.
Ooh.
Kneel to the Duke as he passed the abbey.
Yet once again proclaim it publicly, if any friend will pay the sum for him, he shall not die, so much we tender him.
Justice, most sacred Duke, against the abbess.
It cannot be that she hath done thee wrong.
May it please your grace, Antipholus, my husband, who I made lord of me and all I had at your important letters, this ill day, a most outrageous fit of madness took him, that desperately he hurried through the street, with him his bondsmen, all as mad as he, doing displeasure to the citizens by rushing in their houses and bearing thence rings, jewels, anything his rage did like. Once did I get him bound and sent him home, whilst to take orders for the wrongs I went, that here and there his fury hath committed. Anon, I wot not by what strong escape he broke from those that had the guard of him, and with his mad attendant and himself, each one with ireful passion, with drawn swords, chased us away till raising a more aid, we came again to bind them. Then they fled into this abbey, whither we pursued them. And here the abbess shuts the gates on us, and will not suffer us to fetch us out, nor send him forth, that we may bear him hence. Therefore, most gracious Duke, with thy command, let him be brought forth and borne hence for help.
Long since thy husband served me in my wars, and I to thee engaged a prince's word, when thou didst make him master of thy bed, to do him all the grace and good I could. Get some of you, knock at the abbey gate, and bid Lady Abbess come to me. I will determine this before I stir.
Mistress, mistress, shift and save yourself! Oh, my master and his men are both broke loose, beaten the maids a row, and bound the doctor, whose beard they have singed off with brands of fire. Ever as a blaze they threw on him great pails of muddled mire to quench the hair. My master preaches patience to him, and while his man with scissors nicks him like a fool. And sure, unless you send some present help, between them they will kill the conjurer.
Peace, fool. Thy master and his man are here, and that is false thou dost report to us.
Mistress, I tell you upon my life, I have not breathed until I almost did see it. He cries for you and vows if he can take you to scorch your face and to disfigure you. Hark, hark, I hear him, mistress, fly, be gone.
Come stand by me, fear nothing. Guard without me.
Ay me, it is my husband. Witnessed you that he is born invisible. Even now we housed him in this abbey here, and now he's there, beyond thought of human reason.
Justice, most gracious. Oh, grant me justice. Even for the service that long since I did thee when I betrayed thee in the wars, and took deep scars to save thy life. Even for the blood that then I lost for thee, now grant me justice.
Unless the fear of death doth make me dote, I'd see my son Antipholus and Dromio.
Oh, justice, sweet prince, against that woman there, she whom thou gavest to me to be my wife, that hath abused and dishonored me even in the strength and height of injury. Beyond imagination is the wrong that she this day hath shameless thrown on me.
Discover how, and thou shalt find me just.
This day, great Duke, she shut the doors upon me, whilst she with harlots feasted in my house.
A grievous fault. Say, woman, didst thou so?
No, my good lord. Myself, he, and my sister today did dine together, so befall my soul, and this is false, he burdens me withal.
Dare I look on day nor sleep on night, but she tells your highness simple truth.
Oh, perjured woman!
They are both forsworn. In this, the madman justly chargeth.
My liege, I am advised what I say. Neither disturbed with the effect of wine, nor heady rash provoked with raging ire, albeit my wrongs might make one wiser mad. This woman locked me out this day from dinner. That goldsmith there, were he not packed with her, could witness it, for he was with me then, who parted with me to go fetch a chain, promising to bring it to the Porpentine, where Balthasar and I did dine together. Our dinner done, and he not coming thither, I went to seek him. In the street I met him, and in his company that gentleman. There did this perjured goldsmith swear me down that I this day of him received the chain, which God he knows I saw not. For the which he did arrest me with an officer I did obey, and sent my peasant home for certain ducats, he with none returned. Then fairly I bespoke the officer to go in person with me to my house. By the way we met my wife, her sister, and a rabble more of wild confederates. Along with them they brought one page, a hungry, lean-faced villain, a mere anatomy, a mountebank, a threadbare juggler, and a fortune-teller, a needy, hollow-eyed, sharp-looking wretch, a living dead man. And this pernicious slave, forsooth, took on him as a conjurer, and gazing in mine eyes, feeling my pulse, and with no face as through outfacing me, cries out I was possessed. Then altogether they fell upon me, bound me, bore me thence, and in a dark and dankish vault at home there left me and my man, both bound together, till gnawing with my teeth my bonds in sunder, I gained my freedom and immediately ran hither to your grace, whom I beseech will give me ample satisfaction for these deep shames and great indignities.
My lord, in truth, thus far I witness with him, that he dined not at home, but was locked out.
But he had such a chain of thee, or no?
He had, my lord, and when he ran in here, these people saw the chain about his neck.
Besides, I will be sworn these ears of mine heard you confess you had the chain of him. After you first forswore it on the mart, and thereupon I drew my sword on you, and then you fled into this abbey here, from whence I think you are come by miracle.
I never came within these abbey walls, nor ever didst thou draw thy sword on me. I never saw the chain, so help me heaven, and this is false you burden me withal.
Why, what an intricate impeach is this? I think you all have drunk from Circe's cup. If here you've housed him, here he would have been. If he were mad, he would not plead so coldly. You say he dined at home, the goldsmith here. Denies that saying. Sir, what say you?
Sir, he dined with her there at the Porpentine. He didn't from my finger snatch the ring.
'Tis true, my liege. This ring I had of her.
Saw'st thou him enter at the abbey here?
As sure, my liege, as I do see your grace.
Why, this is strange. Go call the abbess hither. I think you're all mated or stark mad.
Most mighty Duke, vouchsafe me speak a word. Haply I see a friend will save my life and pay the sum that may deliver me.
Speak freely, Syracusan, what thou wilt.
Is not your name, sir, called Antipholus, and is not that your bondman Dromio?
Within this hour I was his bondman, sir. But he, I thank him, not into my cords. Now I am Dromio, and his man unbound.
Are you... I'm sure you, both of you, remember me.
Ourselves we do remember, sir, by you, for lately we are bound as you are now. You are not Pinch's patient, are you, sir?
Why look you strange on me? You know me well.
I never saw you in my life till now.
Oh, grief hath changed me since you saw me last, and careful hours with time's deformed hand have written strange features in my face. But tell me yet, dost thou not know my voice?
Neither.
Dromio, nor thou?
No, trust me, sir, nor I.
I am sure thou dost.
I, sir, but I am sure I do not, and whatsoever a man denies, you are now bound to believe him.
Not know my voice? Oh, time's extremity hast thou so cracked and splitted my poor tongue in 7 short years, that here my only son knows not my feeble key of untuned cares. Though now this grained face of mine be hid in sap-consuming winter's drizzled snow, and all the conduits of my blood froze up, yet hath my night of life some memory, my wasting lamp some fading glimmer left, my dull deaf ears a little used to hear all these old witnesses I cannot err. Tell me thou art my son Antipholus.
I never saw my father in my life.
But 7 years since, in Syracuse Bay, thou know'st we parted. But perhaps, my son, thou shamest to acknowledge me in misery.
Oh, the Duke and all that know me in the city can witness with me that it is not so. I never saw Syracuse in my life.
I tell thee, Syracusan, 20 years have I been patron to Antipholus, during which time he ne'er saw Syracusa. I see thy age and dangers make thee dote.
Most mighty Duke!
Most mighty Duke, behold a man such wrong.
I see 2 husbands, or mine eyes deceive me.
One of these men is genius to the other, and so of these, which is the natural man, and which is the spirit? Who deciphers them?
I, Sir Andromio, command him away.
I, Sir Andromio, pray let me
A
say.
Geon art thou not, or else his ghost.
Oh, my old dear master, who hath bound you here?
Whoever bound him, I will lose his bonds and gain a husband by his liberty. Speak, O Aegeon, if thou beest the man that had a wife once called Amelia, that bore thee burden 2 fair sons, oh, if thou beest the same Aegeon, speak, and speak unto the same Amelia.
Why, here begins his morning story right here. These 2 Antipholus, these 2 so like, and these 2 Dromios, one in semblance. Besides her urging of a wreck at sea, these are the parents to the children, which accidentally are met together.
If I dream not, thou art Amelia. If thou art she, tell me, where is that son that floated with thee on that fatal raft?
By men of Epidamium, he and I and the twin Dromio were all taken up by and by rude fishermen of Corinth. By force took Dromio, my son, from them, and me they left with those of Epidamium. What then became of them I cannot tell, I to this fortune that you see me in.
Antipholus, thou camest from Corinth first.
No, sir, not I. I came from Syracuse.
Say, stand apart. I know not which is which.
I came from Corinth, my most gracious lord.
And I with him.
I brought to this town by that most famous warrior, Duke Menaphon, your most renowned uncle.
Which of you 2 did dine with me today?
I, gentle mistress.
And are you not my husband?
And no, I say nay to that.
And so do I, yet she did call me so. And this fair gentlewoman, her sister here, did call me brother. What I told you then, I hope I shall have leisure to make good, if this not be a dream I see and hear.
That is the chain, sir, which you had of me.
I think it be, sir, I bespoke it not.
And
I sent you money, sir, to be your bail by Dromio, but I think you brought it not. No, none by me.
This purse of ducats I received from you, and Dromio, my man, did bring them me. I see we still did meet each other's man, and I was tamed for him, and he for me, and thereupon these errors are arose. Comedy of errors.
These ducats pawn I for my father here.
It shall not need. Thy father hath his life.
Sir, I must have that diamond from you.
There, tickets, and much thanks for my good cheer.
Renowned Duke, vouchsafe to take these pains to go with us into the abbey here, and here at large discourse all our fortunes and all that are assembled in this place. That have been sympathized one day's errors has suffered wrong. Go, keep us company, and we shall make full satisfaction. 33 years I have gone, but in travail of you, my sons, until this present hour, my heaven burden are delivered. The Duke, my husband, and my children both, and you, the calendars of their nativity, go to a gossip's feast, and go with me. After so long grief, such nativity.
With all my heart, I'll gossip at this feast.
Master, shall I fetch your stuff from shipboard?
Dromio, what stuff of mine hast thou embarked?
Your goods that lay at hosts are in the centaur.
He speaks to me. I am your master, Dromio. Come go with us. We'll look to that anon. Embrace thy brother there. Rejoice with him.
There is a fat friend at your master's house that kitchened me for you to stay at dinner. She shall now be my sister, not my wife.
What? Methinks you are my glass, and not my brother. I see by you I am a sweet-faced youth. Will you walk in to see their gossiping?
Not I, sir. You are my elder.
That's a question. How shall we try it?
We'll draw for cuts for the signor. Till then, lead thou first.
Nay, then thus we came into this world like brother and brother. And now let us go hand in hand. Not one before the other.